After reviewing the analytics from all the websites we've built over the years, we found the top pages that prospects go to are 1, the homepage, and 2, the contractor's featured project page. I'm going to walk you through the page to explain why that is, show you how you can build one for yourself, and then explain how to use it in your marketing and sales processes. Here's a recent website we created for Vault Construction. Devin Vault, the owner, is out of Berkeley and produces really high-end custom homes and remodeling projects. So for his website, we created a series of featured project pages. Today, we'll be checking out a featured project page on a custom home that they built. Now, if you want to see the other featured project pages that they have, the link to his website is in the description of this video. Let's talk about the different components of this page. We want to tell the story behind the project, not just create a glorified project gallery. Ironically, I saw this play out for me personally when my wife and I were looking online for someone to remodel our basement here in Charlotte. If we put up a website and the only photos of their work they had there were just a random gallery of different projects, Audrey would pretty much immediately leave that website. Now, on the other hand, the websites that had individual pages dedicated to each project were the ones she would stop and browse all through. I would watch her scroll through the photos and read some of the blurbs about the actual projects themselves on those pages. And after reflecting on it, I realized this is because if a homeowner wants to hire a company to do any home improvement project, the first thing they want to know is, can this company do the type of project that I'm wanting? So at the top of the page, we want to create a project overview. This immediately lets prospects know if this is a similar project to what they're interested in. This is going to make the situation more real and relatable to your potential clients who are reading it. Next is the challenge or problem that the client is trying to solve. We want to introduce the homeowner and talk about why they hired you. If the reader is facing a very similar problem to what they have on this page, they will want to stop and read the entire page. Next comes the process you went through to fix their problem. We want to show really the simple steps to highlight that you actually have a plan without overwhelming them with the million steps to carry out that plan. We typically like to use something like design, build, and enjoy, or something related to that that really highlights that design is the first step here. These pages help show Google and people that this particular company has experience doing that type of service. In fact, Google is now using these feature project pages in their AI-generated summaries when somebody is searching on Google. So here's a specific example from another one of our clients. When somebody is searching for kitchen remodeling in Vail, Arizona, which is a service he provides in that area, not only is he showing up in the AI overview, but he's also getting linked to that exact page on his website. This shows us that Google really likes these pages because, again, it highlights that this company has actual experience doing the exact thing that they're trying to market for. Next, we want to show off your solution to their challenge. Hire a professional photographer to capture the finished project. This is where we get to use those high quality photos to really show that the proof is in the pudding here. I cannot stress enough the importance of having amazing photos to show off amazing projects. If there are cool features of the project that you want to highlight as well, you can specifically call those out too. Finally, we wrap up the page by guiding the reader to the next page that we want them to explore. I suggest that we either guide them to other feature project pages or the contact page on the website. Now, if you're concerned that this is a lot of information that you need to compile and then turn into a web page, just start off small and remove some of the information. For this client, we completely removed the process section and really just simplified everything else. It's up to you on how in-depth you want your feature project pages to be, but the important thing is that we have them and they tell the story behind the projects that we want to show off. Now, to really get the most ROI out of your website, you're going to want to use these pages in your sales process as well. Let me explain 2 different ways that you can use them when working with prospects, and these are the exact ways that I actually do this on sales calls myself. First, send them to the prospects to review on their own as a way to nurture them. For example, like a remodeling company sales process usually involves several calls and touch points. Unfortunately, most companies don't really nurture the prospect in between these touch points because they don't really know what to say to bridge the gap. These pages are great excuses to reach out because you can send a couple of them over at the end of the last touch point and then text the prospect a few days later to gather feedback on the project. Hey, what are your thoughts on that project I sent over yesterday? It's an easy way to keep prospects engaged without feeling like you have to call them back to ask if they're ready to buy yet. The second way to use these pages is to actually pull up the page when you're talking to prospects on a Zoom or a phone call and walk through the page together. If a prospect wants a project similar to one that you've already done and have a feature project page for, what better way to show them that you're a great fit than by highlighting that page to them? Now, all of this has been focused on how to best show off your work on your website. If this has been helpful to you, I'd suggest you watch our podcast with the owner of NS Builders, Nick Schiffer. NS is a fantastic home building and remodeling company that just blows it out of the water online. He's really dialed in on how he shows off his work on social media and has gained over 300,000 followers across all of his accounts. It's a fantastic conversation that I personally learned a lot from and I continue to send to clients to listen to.